Right now on Denver 7 News at 5 o'clock, Aurora's ban on urban camping is now in effect. People experiencing homelessness are now facing tighter restrictions. One group is looking to provide resources to help them turn things around.
Normal day? There's no normal day.
We hit the road. We make sure that our van is stocked with water, snacks, socks, anything that is basic survival to make sure that people can at least survive their circumstance.
The two-person operation, making sure this group feels heard and valued.
Breaking overnight, retired Marine Trevor Reed is back in Texas after nearly 3 years in a Russian prison. We're getting more details about his terrifying ordeal.
And it's time for the NFL draft with head coach Nathaniel Hackett and quarterback Russell Wilson already in place. Our Broncos insider Troy Rank is taking a closer look at the needs the team is still looking to fill. A lot of supporting cast needs out there, but the main roles are already in place as we take a live look at the Strip in Las Vegas, where the NFL draft stage is set. The first round is tonight. Broncos don't pick until the second round tomorrow. Thanks for joining us. I'm Brian Sanders.
I'm Nicole Brady. Check out this video from DIA yesterday. A gustnado touched down, and that delayed flights in and out of DIA. The National Weather Service says this was not attached to a cloud base, so it wouldn't be considered a tornado or a land sprout. But I did hear that wind kicking up yesterday. The storms moved out quickly after a little bit of rain, and now we've got the warmest day of the week ahead, Lisa.
Yeah, skies have cleared. Those thunderstorms have moved out. Yeah, you'll get a vortex forming when you get a downburst from one of those storm cells. Very common this time of year now as we start to see more of these storms developing. Right now, a little bit of cloud cover up north of Denver, but we are waking up to more sunshine early this morning. It's going to be a nice start to our day. Take a look at the hourly planner. Right around 67 degrees by 11 o'clock. A warm one. Will be a good 10 degrees above that by this afternoon. Hitting highs right around 75 to, again, near 80 with drier conditions. We had a few of those showers roll east over the plains. We told you it could happen, and it was nice to get a little bit of rain. Those storms turning just a touch stronger out east. Today we're going to see some drier weather. Now it's pretty calm today. Wind gusts will be at around 20 to 25 miles per hour. We're going to double those tomorrow. Coming up, I'll show you just how windy it's going to get and just how much cooler it'll be with this next cold front.
Yeah, I had a few sprinkles there at the house yesterday. It was pretty nice to see. And right now we do have a little bit of a traffic jam that's starting to unwind on the westbound side, or sorry, the eastbound side of I-70, coming from around Federal, Pecos. Take a look from two different camera views. This was just taken about 5 minutes ago, where you see all that traffic stacked up. What happens is they have the construction trucks across all lanes, and they just roll really slowly. And then as you look at the live camera right now, you can see the traffic is now eased up considerably on that eastbound side. So the drive time, it's just going to take some time for it to work its way out, but it's really not 25 minutes. It's closer to about 12 minutes on that drive going across to I-25 from the west side of town. The rest of the drive looks just fine, not seeing any other problems, including to or from the airport, which remains wide open for us right now.
How Aurora addresses homelessness changes today. The city's urban camping ban went into effect overnight.
Denver 7's Veronica Costa has been following this story for months. She joins us live with the new regulations for homeless people and for police. Veronica.
Well, starting today, individuals experiencing homelessness, they can no longer set up those encampments on public property without permission. But before law enforcement officials come in and try to remove an encampment, they have to be given certain notice. First, city officials actually have to give the people living in those encampments 72-hour notice before they remove one and in order to relocate. This can only happen if the city has open shelter options for those having to leave the place they're calling home for the moment. The measure passed Aurora City Council more than a month ago now. It was on its third try. Council members did add an amendment allowing the city manager to create a policy related to storing personal items from homeless camp sweeps. That policy must include how long those items will be available to those receiving homeless services after something like a sweep happens. So we spoke with an Aurora team that focuses on getting resources out to those in encampments 5 days a week. They aren't sure how this urban camping ban is going to change their jobs, but they said it's not going to change their mission.
I expect my job to change regardless of what's happening in other realms. But I know that as long as we are continuously working with the city and with the other organizations who serve our populations, I'm confident that we will be able to reach our goals.
And days ago, city officials told us that Aurora City Council plans to discuss that storing item policy during a city council meeting that's coming up on May 2nd. So we'll keep you updated on what that final policy is. We're live in Aurora this morning. I'm Veronica Acosta, Denver 7.
Still some things to figure out there. Thank you, Veronica. Castle Rock police have identified 32-year-old Matthew Buchanan as a person of interest after a woman was found dead inside a home that caught fire. He was last seen driving a white Dodge minivan with temporary Colorado plates 3964372. The victim found inside the home was Elizabeth Bjorlo. Police have not said yet how she died. Court records show last year the victim had a restraining order against Buchanan. Denver police are still trying to figure out who shot and killed 3 people inside an apartment. We brought this story to you as breaking news yesterday morning. A man, a woman, and a boy were killed at the East Range Crossings apartment complex. Police have not yet identified them.
This morning, a group of parents in Denver is pushing the district to keep bilingual programs. DPS Moms Fighting for Public Schools plans to hold a news conference at 8:30 this morning at Colfax Elementary. They say the district has dismantled transitional native language instruction programs, especially at small schools. The group is demanding that DPS abide by a consent decree to improve multilingual support for students. Well, sadly, the Nuggets season is now over. They lost to the Golden State Warriors in Game 5 last night of the playoffs. It was a close one. The final score 98-102. The Warriors will go on now to play either Memphis or Minnesota.
Well, it's a new season now. The Broncos wrapped up their 3-day mini camp, and this practice here was just like any other. Russell Wilson leading the offense, running all over the field with his teammates and laughing and joking with Coach Nathaniel Hackett. The spirits are high as we take a live look over Las Vegas this morning, where the NFL draft kicks off today. The Broncos don't have a first-round pick. That was part of their trade for Russell Wilson. So Broncos insider Troy Rink has a look at some of the needs the team still needs to fill in the later rounds.
Yes, it's here, the NFL draft. I love this time of year. It intertwines our love with pro football and college football. We see dreams come true. We see some kids make millions and some make memes. It's different this year for the Broncos because they do not have a first-round pick. But oh yeah, they have Russell Wilson. That's better than any first-round pick they frankly maybe have ever had in franchise history. So don't worry. If you're worried about that, just watch his highlights for a few nights. You'll be fine. But they do have plenty of picks in this draft. 9 overall. 3 in the top 96. This is GM George Paton's wheelhouse. In his first year in charge with the Broncos, he got 6 impact players, including Pat Surtain and Javonte Williams. This year, the first pick is at 64. My projection and hope privately is Chad Muma, the linebacker. He's from Legend High School. He played at Wyoming. He's rangy. He's fast. He could be a 3-down backer. He might not be available there. So you'd look at cornerback like Kobe Bryant or even a guy like Roger McCreary from Auburn. You move on to that 3rd round. Kobe Bryant could be there at corner. And early, maybe even that second day, Nick Bonita. Those are some of the things to keep an eye on for the Broncos. They need an edge rusher, they need a corner, they need a tackle, and they need a tight end. Russell Wilson, I believe, will get them back to the playoffs, but you got to win in the margins if you're going to be a good team. That is why it's the time for George Paton to hit another home run in the draft. It might start tonight. It's unlikely, but Friday, the phones are going to be ringing down at Dove Valley as Denver looks to beef up their roster. Reporting for Denver 7. Troy Rink.
And you can watch round 1 of the draft right here on Denver 7 at 6 p.m. and then stick around for a special post-draft newscast at 9:30. Lisa.
It's going to be fun. Right now it's just about 5:09. We're looking at temperatures that are in the 40s and 50s. We'll be there through the early morning hours, so your kids heading off to school today, t-shirt and shorts weather. They're going to want a sweatshirt to layer over this morning. Mid to upper 70s, though, by the time they get home. We'll see a little increase in cloud cover, partly sunny this afternoon, but it is going to be drier than yesterday. Still calm today, windy tomorrow. Details on that weekend forecast coming up.
And we still have a pretty much wide open drive anywhere you want to go. All the overnight construction's been picked up. Watch it get removed from some areas of I-70. You can see up in Broomfield right now, looking pretty good. 120th and Main Street, not seeing any problems just yet on a lot of those surface streets. We'll take a look at some of the travel times for you coming up in just a minute.
President Biden has given his strongest indication yet that he would consider canceling some student loans. But is that what Americans want? A new survey has some interesting findings.
Also, more of us are now headed back to the office, but a new study finds Colorado cities were early adopters of the work from home practice at the start of the pandemic.